I have a Christmas tree in my house, right? And I've thought a lot about this because in the Bible it says don't bring in trees like the pagans. And when I was just in Texas, I came home, the tree was up, and my wife and kids really liked the tree. It's a fake tree, but that's trickery to say it's not a tree. I just am not going to associate it with Jesus Christ or Christmas. It's just a tree. It's just a decoration because my children like it. My wife likes it. My wife likes wreaths. She likes this shit. She finds a lot of joy in it, and my kids like it. The way I'm avoiding this wizardry is it's not associated with Jesus, my Christmas tree. This is just a tradition. That's it. Because for me to make a stand and say, we're getting rid of the tree, and they say, it's like, why? Well, it says in the Bible not to have a tree. Well, why does that have to do with the Bible? It's just a nice tree. We've had trees our whole childhood. It's like, I weighed it. I'd rather not have a tree, but my marriage is important to me and it makes my wife very happy. And so what I'm going to do is just not associate it with Jesus Christ because that's what the Bible is. That's it. The cross is just an unfolded cube. That's way too intense for me right now. No star on top then? No, there's no star. That I won't let it star, obviously. I was talking to a friend whose wife likes Disney cartoons, and basically it's not a hill for him to die on, but what he does is he educates his children on the devil mouse, and that's it. They have very nice fake trees now but I'm not Talmudic. I'm not gonna, I'll show you an example, okay? This is how small hats operate, and I won't do it. I'll show you some examples of wizards, yada, yada. All right. Rabbi says meat from genetically cloned pigs could be eaten by Jews, including with milk. That's loophole religion. It's saying, it's genetically modified, so we can now eat pork. Tee-hee, tee-hee. If you want to trick yourself, fine. Just because that isn't a real tree doesn't mean it isn't the same thing. That's blatantly a tree. I'm not going to say that because it's not a tree we cut down that it isn't a tree. It's a tree. It just isn't religious. That's the thing. It's like you have to just be fucking honest about what it is. My wife likes Christmas trees. She's followed me around the country. She's been by my side during so much trials and tribulations. Like yesterday during Grace at dinner, we were saying what we were all grateful for, and she was saying she was so grateful that this year is so much better than last year. Last year, I drank too much. I was filled with more anger than I am now, and our family has benefited tremendously from the blessing of sobriety. And if you watch the video I uploaded yesterday, that's as low as it got for me, and it was true, and it was emotional, and it was intense. So when I drank, it wasn't like a monster came out. I was just vulnerable to demons. And it was like the anger was there because I didn't see through it yet. I didn't see what the tricks are and what the leprechauns are. And that's why when I see people talk about Jew blood and we gotta, are you part Jew? You missed the whole thing. It's about the lie and the truth. And when you have people of the lie, what's that? Jesse Lee Peterson calls it children of the lie. They can exist in all forms. It's basically someone. Usually they have a ridiculous hat, whether it's a tiny hat, whether it's a big boner hat like McBonerstein, the Pope. I'm never calling him the Pope, by the way. He's not my papa. Or, the Shriners have this ridiculous hat, like wizard hat. Like part of a wizard that they have to do is they have to show you they're a wizard so that you sign on the dotted line. If they don't show you they're a wizard, they're not, for whatever reason, they're not allowed to trick you. So always watch out for absurd hats. Also, I can't remember what I was just talking about. Oh, yeah. So the way to get rid of the hatred and the anger and to not blame the Jews for your misfortunes is understand that you have to agree to nonsense. Like when they say Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Free to do what you're told. Free to pay 50% tax and not be allowed to collect your rainwater, and then free to join up in the Marines and go guard poppy fields in Afghanistan. I'm not being negative. This isn't despair. I'm trying to give you a way out. Don't agree to it. You know, I pay my taxes. I follow the law. But it's because I know what it is. I'm not deluding myself and saying I'm free. I'm free from the state. I'm free. You know, that's nonsense. America is not a free country. America is tyrannical. But America has been so corrupted by wizards and lies and fabrications. Well, here's one wizardry. Post-SSRI sexual dysfunction recognized as medical condition. European regulators recognize a medical condition. Well, their U.S. counterparts, basically when you take these SSRIs, your dick doesn't work anymore. Look at the pharmaceutical ads, because what they're taking from you is your life, your health, everything. Your ability to procreate, everything. So that's why they say, like, for restless leg syndrome, side effects may include thoughts of suicide, shitting your pants, stabbing your face with a crayon. You know, because then when you agree to it, they go, tee-hee, you agree, tee-hee. Like, you have to develop discernment. Because it's legal to discern. You can legally discern. You can say, I don't trust Jewish people until I know them very well. That isn't illegal. Oh, how dare you? You're a bigot, racist. Say whatever you want. This is allowing me to not hate them. Because when they try and sell me some bullshit, I say, no, I don't want to know what's in the box. No, but if you give me $100,000, you'll get to see what's in the box. Guys, it's like school debt is crazier than a midget coming out of the woods with an empty box where you give them $100,000 to see what's in the box. $100,000 of being in debt to extend your child's childhood in a place that's sexually as unsafe as can be imagined, where they teach you nonsense, and then you get a piece of paper that doesn't get you a job. That's what college is. Tee-hee. So people will develop this hatred of Jews because they were tricked, when in reality, we can't keep falling for it. Like, we can't keep agreeing to this shit. Because they just cower. They go away when you say, get out of here, leprechaun. They go, oh, tee-hee. If you don't agree, they don't get to take your shit. And so that's why I find some people to be dangerous. And I'm not saying they shouldn't do their thing or whatever, but it's like if you blame a demographic or a blood type or something like this on lies and evil and discern, we have to discern better. So look at this. So these are Disney kids before and after. And it's not by accident. Okay, on the left you see Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, Miley Cyrus, right? This isn't a byproduct. People think that, oh, Disney uses and abuses them and then they end up train wrecks. Becoming a train wreck is the point. So what happens is your children, where's my phone? I actually wrote it. I can just read what I wrote. I'll just paraphrase. Your children see a construct, and that construct is Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana does not exist. That's not a real person. You know, the Bambi image that you saw, the mother get shot, those are drawings. That's not a real mother. And they're evoking these emotions out of you, right? So the kids believe Hannah Montana is their little buddy. And then as Hannah Montana grows up, she's getting mime fucked by Beetlejuice, you know, wearing the Freemasonic checker as she's shoving her genitalia publicly, doing with insane hair, doing Okay, so what is that? That's what the point of it is, for children to almost see Hannah Montana as a member of their friend group. It's a construct. Hannah Montana never existed. So then the parents say, oh, it's Hannah Montana. What a quirky kook. And then as the years go on, your buddy is now going to introduce to you degradation. So now a member of your friend group, like in your life, your friends would not have just been dry fucked by Beetlejuice in front of everybody, but Hannah Montana did. And so now it normalizes it a bit. It starts to make things like, oh, maybe I should get dry fucked by Beetlejuice publicly. And it just keeps moving. That's the whole point of it. And so Lindsay Lohan, the train wreck, you connect with these people and these narratives, these stories. These people never existed. The narratives are written. They will take true elements of nature, true elements of the hero's journey, biblical truths, and they'll put it into these people that are miming reality. And then as they grow up and become disasters, it brings your children with them. And then the devil mouse comes out and says, hey, you shouldn't have let us watch it. And so this is a powerful moment. I posted this and someone said, but how should we know? You know, it was supposed to just be the magical kingdom. Magic is bad. Like, we are supposed to know that, Amanda Bynes, yeah, all of them. We're supposed to know that when someone offers you a magical kingdom and a sorcerer named Mickey the Mouse, a vermin, that we're supposed to reject it. Because if you don't reject it, it's on you. Like my wife had on NFL yesterday, and my son was just walking in and out of the room, and he was sitting there, and I turned it off. I'm like, no. She's like, why? I was like, because the NFL will flash to cheerleaders with their pussies and their asses. I didn't say this out loud, but this is reality. They're dressed where you see everything. And then it'll promote the military, and then the commercials will be absurdly disgusting. The football is fine. Everything else is terrible. And no, my 3-year-old does not consent to that. And in your mind, you're like, oh, it's America's pastime. No, the fuck it isn't. It used to be. It isn't now. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it was different. They're slowly making it disgusting. I'm going to show you something. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, this is a commercial for the soda Sprite. You can no longer consent to this stuff. I will be kicked off YouTube eventually. Subscribe to unauthorized.tv. If you like me, if you like my content, if you like the community, subscribe to unauthorized.tv. If we lose the ability to live stream, we will make one. It's just extremely expensive, and we're not quite there yet, but we will be. We have our own server space. We pay for it. We do our own thing. You know, we're protected there. So subscribe to unauthorized.tv because this is insane. Okay. This is in the last 2 weeks. And I'm not showing you this to be outraged. Oh, how dare they? They have to apologize. No, you have to stop with this shit. Don't drink Sprite. Don't watch TV where Sprite is advertised. Because if not, you will develop anger. Just like I did with my dead friend because of Afghanistan. Then to see Ben Shapiro pushing more and more war. I hated him. Hate, like hatred. I learned to just mock him and build. Because hatred wasn't benefiting me or my family. I was in a very dark place, and it really hit me when my wife yesterday was very grateful for this year as opposed to last year. The last year I was too connected to the demons. Like this year it's about building, and it'll only continue. And I have discernment now. I have a mind that says, no, I won't fight in your wars. My kids won't watch your smut. I won't take your loans. And guess what? They run for the forest. Watch this. This is a Sprite commercial. Okay, so you have a mother and a little boy. Okay? This is just... It's going to make you mad, but that's not the point. It's this. I'm trying to help you discern. It's required. Trust me, I'm not normally into this type of stuff where it's like, look at them, look at how terrible they are. But look, it's now the grandmother is proudly dressing her grandson as a girl tranny to go walk the streets and prostitute themselves. And now the children are involved. Look, it's gay pride. Look, pride. Look at this train wreck family. So now the mother is so proud of her tranny son who wears, these new things. This Sprite soda. Guys, this is a boy. Homosexuality. Oh, generations are going to just love you for this. Oh, wow. So brave. So, sorry, I'm not going to be sarcastic. This is, and the father is so proud. Pride. What you feel when someone you love chooses to be free. Sugar water. Sprite. You're not alone, guys. Okay. Sprite is advertised on the NFL. So guess what? I don't watch the NFL anymore. That's real. Slippery slope is not a fallacy. No, it is though, and I'll tell you why. And this is the good news. I'm trying to help you with this. I'm not trying to make you mad. Don't 7-Up, okay? No. Get out. You want to know how I can know so much of the evils of this world, and just there's my son smiling with our goats, and we built that goat barn out of a carport, right? It's because you can't keep engaging in it. They're telling you what they are. If you drink Sprite now, that's consent. If you watch TV that advertises Sprite, that's consent. When you see Sprite, know what they promote. They tried to show you generations of a family that proudly dresses up their boy to become a girl and go pridefully parade their sodomy and their abomination in public. That's what it is. I was an all-league football player. I had a 2-point conversion and a sack in the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. Like, I'm an athlete. I love football. I don't watch football anymore. We live in a fallen world. We live in a world of evil. You know? And it's like, but you can make something very good out of it, because what's happening is feminism is declining rapidly. Our gatekeepers are moving right wing. The good news about Nick Fuentes is the new gatekeeper. He is a gatekeeper. That's one reason why I've been attacking him and all that. But the good news is it keeps moving to the right. Logos is rising. Tradition is rising. Truth is rising. Like, women are not falling for this shit anymore. Women don't want to be feminists. They don't want to be defined by their office job and their abortions. They hate it. Women write to my wife all the time. Like, tell me how to make my own pasta. You know, how do I do you? My wife went to USC for engineering. She has her master's degree. She was on that path of not trusting men, of wanting to have her own income, all this stuff. You see my wife. She used to be on Zoloft for depression when she was living the fake American dream, the upside down, the lie, right? Now she's beaming with joy every single day. And women now write to my wife and say, how do I get there? Women want to be cherished. They want to be in a home where the man honors them, provides for them, respects them, and they get to be moms. They don't have to be workers in these little office cubes, right? Bad news is our economy will crash. It's only a matter of time. It's all based on lies. Money has no real value. The next level of lie is even worse. It's called crypto, blockchain, where you take a story, a lie called fiat currency, and you make it even less real. But now you can't even hold it in your hand, and everyone can track everything you make. And it was all created by an alias of a guy that no one knows who it is, right? Okay, the good news is people are rejecting it. The devil has jumped the shark. So as much as it appears that the world has gone insane, no, what's going to happen is you're going to have to live with less. You're not going to be supported by all the material. You're not going to be able to have, 2 cars and a beach house. I did a post recently where it said Hitler should have homesteaded. And that's obviously funny, and it addresses a lot of things. It's great rhetoric. It shows that a lot of Hitler's points, Adolfo Hitlerio, were valid, but his response was not valid. He should have homestead. And then, of course, you got a bunch of dudes that I have compassion for, but they were like, and just let him get bombed, and, he was standing up for his people and all that. No, he wasn't. Bombs are not the threat. The threat is always starvation. When you see massive numbers of genocide, it's always about food. Bombs don't work like that. Bombs can work in a city center. Like, you can destroy Dresden, you can destroy Los Angeles, Manhattan, boom, 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 right? Bombs don't work like that in homesteads. It's not possible to just bomb a country. You can't bomb Iran. You can bomb highly concentrated like Tokyo, but you can't bomb. There isn't enough planes or bombs in the world to even begin to do that. Millions of people are killed by starvation. It's always about food. I know what Churchill was saying in the 20s. I know what Churchill was saying in the 30s. I know Churchill's plan was to get Germany to fight him on behalf of the banks. Germany was threatened with economic sanctions. It's what happens right now that they're doing to Iran and Syria and all these people that won't play ball with sodomy and fiat, right? So what's the answer? Food. Food is, so the Great Leap Forward, 60 million Chinese dead. How'd they die? Starvation. All the Germans that died, 20 million Germans died in World War II. How? Mostly starvation. The Holodomor, how did they die? Starvation. So how did all this happen? You have to be able to have your own food sources. That is the strength of nations. That they want to get you hooked on corn syrup and mass, centralized control of your battery, which is food and water. And then they'll yank you, bam, and they'll kill you if you don't follow orders, right? So when I say Hitler should have homesteaded, I'm right. There isn't enough military, police, bombs in this world to go door to door in the country. There just isn't. It has to be mass. It has to be centralized control, whether it's currency, food, water, all this stuff, power. So to get your feet again, to be able to not be affected by these Sprite commercials and tranny porn in elementary schools, you have to be able to stand on your own feet. So how do you prepare? Get a food source, get a water source, know your neighbors, pray to God. Get through pain, receive blessings. If you do that, we can avoid the whole thing. But if you're addicted to the drip, in every turn, you have to agree to another thing. Like right now, Sprite, just put it in your face. We all know that's not reality. We all know that there is not a single family in this world where the grandmother, the parents, and the children all get together to dress up the kid as a tranny so he can go parade his asshole in a public event. That's nuts. And so if you agree to that and keep taking that sugar drip, you're now vulnerable. And then when they go bam and they pull your neck, you got leashes around. You got the material leash and you got the leash of God and truth. And at any time, bam, you want the leash of nature and God and truth. That's the leash that you want. And you want to stay close to your master, God, the creator. Everything true. The leash of the material you want to avoid. And with every loan, with every media, with every war, with every lie you internalize and agree to, that leash gets stronger and stronger. And they add more chains. And then they add a blockchain. It's right there. They're telling you what they're doing.